What is going on, people? We are back. It's tax day. If you ain't got your taxes in yet, send them in. It's the 125th edition of the MMA Podcast. We're so glad you tuned in. We got a bunch to break down. We took last week off for spring break, so we have two cards to break down. Both the card in Krakow last weekend, Mirko Cro Cop with an impressive victory over Gabriel Gonzaga. We're going to break that whole card down. And, of course, the card we missed on April 4th, UFC Fairfax. Some big wins by Michael Chiesa, Al Iaquinta, and Chad Mendez. We're going to break down the week in MMA news, UFC Chicago, Phil Davis of Bellator, a bunch more. Of course, this weekend's UFC Fox card. We're going to break it all down. Let's do it.
You're listening to the MMA Podcast.
That's right, Lenny Hart. It is the MMA Podcast. It's going to be a little bit of a unique edition of the MMA Podcast. Normally, I have my trusty co-host, Ramses, but he's actually feeling a little bit under the weather. So shout out to Ramses, who, man, the last, 50, 60 shows, he's done just about every single one. So, hey, thanks to him for just being on a bunch of shows. He is funny as hell. If you haven't heard the Word on the Street podcast, honestly, at this point, I really don't know how that would be possible because we've done I'm on almost every podcast he does. He's on almost every podcast I do. So chances are, if you've heard his voice, you've heard me. If you've heard my voice, you've heard his, and you're very familiar with the Word on the Street podcast, who we're looking to do a show with Front Row Brian soon. Keep your ears to the ground for that one, as he and I are both the producers of his podcast, the FRB Show, which he has cranked out some really good shows, and he kind of takes it a step farther than just MMA and UFC. He talks a lot of wrestling. If you're a big WWE fan, he had Frank the Clown on, who, if you're a WWE fan and you're on Twitter and you don't follow Frank the Clown, I don't know what you're doing with your life. He's talked to Joe Schilling. We're going to touch on that whole Joe Schilling, Phil Baroni, Twitter war, I guess you'll call it. But, what I'm getting to is Ramses is a motherfucker. If you're not following him on Twitter, you're doing one of two things wrong. You either have a Twitter and you're not following him, or you just don't have a Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, just get Twitter. I don't know what you're doing with your life. Either way, follow him at The Ant Jimmy Show. And that's actually a shout-out to Anthony Cumia and Jim Norton, who, if you follow along with Radio Beef, Ant and Opie have had a big falling out, and I guess we all know whose side Ramses is on. I'll save the shout-outs for the end because I've just been talking nonsense, and we're already 4 minutes in. Let's get straight to the fights. And really quick, if you would like to follow us, which if you're listening, and I don't know how you would be listening if you weren't already following, you can follow us on Twitter at The MMA Podcast, or visit themmapodcast.com, themmapodcast@gmail.com if you want to send us any hate mail. Let's start it off with Gonzaga and Cro Cop 2. Of course, I would be remiss to say, because we do this show live every Tuesday or Wednesday night, depending on the sobriety of me and Ramsey / when works best. It's usually Tuesday, but lately we've been doing a lot of Wednesdays. Last week we took the week off because I was in Chicago and just drinking heavily, vaping a lot of wax. I've been on the green medicine, but I've been switching to the smoke, to the vaporizing wax. Colorado is a beautiful state. Let's get back on it. UFC Fight Night Krakow. I really hate talking shit about cards, but this was not a good card. It was very shallow. The prelims and even the main card were filled with a lot of head-scratcher fights. You had JoJo Calderwood lose on the first fight of the main card, which we'll touch on her loss once we get into the news, because it was sort of a peculiar reason she gave to her loss, but she lost 90 seconds in due to an armbar. And you had Powell Powlak and Sheldon Westcott fighting in the third fight from the top, which shows you the shallowness. In the co-main, Jimmy Manoa, he apparently was fighting with knee injuries. He had a torn ACL and or MCL, and fought through it and beat Jan Blachowicz. And, of course, in the main event, Mirko Cro Cop defeating Gabe Gonzaga. Also, really quick, if you are listening live, the phone number is 213-457-3380. Or you can Skype us at the MMA Podcast. We get almost all of our listens on an archive on either our iTunes, SoundCloud, or YouTube page. But if you are listening live, it's pretty damn late. It's 11:32 Mountain Time here, April 15th, Wednesday night. But, 213-457-3380, and it's an open topic, whatever the hell you want to talk about. MMA, tax day, if you want to bitch about the IRS, the phones are open. But I want to get back to this main event. Really the only fight that's worth talking about. I don't know, the fact that Manoa fought through an injury was sort of cool, but let's be honest, he was fighting a complete bum in Jan Blachowicz and outpointed him very easily in a 15-minute fight, which, man, I sort of wonder. It didn't look like Jimmy was going for the finish as much as he has in his last fights, which you would assume that if he was injured, he would try and finish the fight as soon as possible. But apparently, I guess he just realized that he would be able to cruise to an easy decision, and that's what he did. Let's get to the main event, though. Gabe Gonzaga. The first and second round, it was looking like Cro Cop made a bad call coming back from retirement and all that. Gabe just looked quicker. His footwork was better. He got into the mount 2 times, not once but twice. And the mount can so many times be just a death sentence. You get subbed, you get finished with strikes. I do want to credit Mirko for getting out of it, but at the same time, Gabe Gonzaga just did not show the urgency once he hit mount. Once a fighter hits the mount in the offensive spot, you have got to just go balls to the fucking wall there, because you are in the most favorable position you can be in fighting, and you've just got to finish the fight there. I don't know if he felt so confident standing up that he felt he didn't need to finish it there, but he's probably kicking himself now if that was the case, because he never had the chance to finish per se, but I think that's just because of a lack of urgency from the mount twice. Mirko got up round 3, 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, finishes the fight via TKO. Just, man, he took the top spot, and he demolished the hell out of Gabe Gonzaga's head with those elbows. Jesus Christ, there was so much blood. There was a spot or two of blood on the damn camera. It showed a shot of Gabe Gonzaga after the fight, which, like his fellow Bostonian, I think they both live in Boston, Massachusetts, Joe Lauzon. Oh my God, it was like a splitting image of that same exact sort of cut that Lauzon got in the Jim Miller fight. Just this it looks like a 5-inch long caterpillar just going from the eyebrow up into the forehead. Gabe Gonzaga is man, that scar is gonna itch the rest of his life. That is a fucking biggin'. But Mirko gets the win. And an interesting note, he's now 8-0 in fights where he's fighting a guy he lost to the first time around. So, you would think most rematches he's probably an underdog. He's lost to the guy. But no, he is 8-0 fighting a guy who he's lost to previously. And there are a few losses on his record that fans want to see him get another crack at, whether you're talking Frank Mir, Roy Nelson, Brendan Schaub, Junior Dos Santos, Mark Hunt. I don't know if the UFC is going to line up a rematch against Fedor, but man, he is a motherfucker when it comes to rematches. And speaking of Mirko, let's check in with him as he talked to Dan Hardy after his return and win at UFC Krakow.
Well, concerning the fight, I feel great. It was our strategy. There was 5 rounds in front of us, and we made a plan. 2 rounds, doesn't matter, win or lose, just to stay calm. And we believed that 3rd round or 4th will be the last one.
And obviously that first fight, those elbows that he landed on you in the first fight were very pivotal in the finish. As you've admitted yourself, you damaged him really badly with a standing elbow. Talk me through the use of the elbows and how that's integrated into your game.
Well, during preparation we were training how to throw elbows, how to defend elbows, of course. And it worked.
It was a beautiful performance. It's such an honor for me to be calling your fight. So what comes next for you now? You've got the rematch, you've got the victory. What comes next?
First thing I will do is take a shower, and we are going home for Croatia in about 1.5 hours. We have our own transport, not plane.
Excellent. And back to the gym, back to training, or will you take some time off?
Exactly. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks I will take a rest and then training again.
Yeah? So we're going to see you again?
Of course. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cro Cop. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mirko Cro Cop, give it up!
And also give it up to Dan Hardy, who, man, when he first started, he was very green as far as the announcing came. But he's come a long way. He's pretty damn good now. I guess that wraps up last weekend's card, so we'll move to the UFC Fairfax card. Again, if you're listening live and you want to call in, the phone number is 213-457-3380. But you know I can run my mouth off all damn night. This was definitely a more stacked card than last weekend's card. You had I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 fights that most fans wanted to see, as opposed to maybe 2 or 3. I guess fans wanted to see JoJo fight a bum, which she lost. Once again, we'll talk about her reasoning for that in a little bit. We want to see Manoa fight a bum. He won. And really, people just cared about the main event, which was for sure worth watching. UFC Fight Night Fairfax, which went down a week prior, had a lot more fights worth watching. We wanted to see if Gray Maynard would be able to rebound against the Russian Alexander Yakovlev. He did not. It's funny, Maynard, I think, was the 3rd or 4th highest paid guy on the card, and he loses in the prelims. This is likely his last UFC fight. I don't see the UFC keeping him around. He probably can make more money outside of the UFC with Bellator, World Series of Fighting, just being a name. But I mean, the guy was making 48 and 48 on this card, while you have fighters like Michael Chiesa making 24 and 24, who had an Al who's making 23 and 23, which he's literally making less than half of what Maynard's making, and he maybe at this point has twice the talent. Maynard, he had an awesome career, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be in the UFC for. He loses to Alexander Yakovlev. Liz Carmouche cruises to a win, 29-28 on all 3 judges' cards over Lauren Murphy. Then we get to the main card. Dustin Poirier looking silky smooth against Carlos Diego Ferreira with a KO in the first round, 3 minutes 45 seconds in. Poirier showing that he was a force to be reckoned with at 145. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with at 155. Clay Guida, who we haven't heard from a while, aside from the random fact that he beat both guys who just fought for the lightweight strap Rafael Dos Anjos and Tony Pettis. He defeats Robbie Peralta 30-27 across the judges' scorecards. Juliana Pena, tough champion. We hadn't heard from her in a while because she got injured. It was, I don't know what you want to call it. First, there were stories of a training partner injuring her, and Dana White calls them dumbasses, and then apparently the whole story wasn't clear. I honestly don't know how that worked out. Just a weird gym story where first all the blame was put on a training partner, and then it came out that maybe it wasn't the training partner's fault, maybe it was hers. Either way, past all the gossip and bullshit, she comes back and scores a first round TKO 3 minutes and 59 seconds in. She calls out Ronda Rousey, which I think most MMA fans can identify as being a little bit of a reach. But, I mean, shit, people. At this point, they're giving Rousey bums like bitch Kohea. I mean, if, you know, the UFC is desperate, and at this point it shows that they're just reaching super far for fresh opponents for Rousey, because after she dispatches chicks like Alexis Davis and Kat Zingano in less than 15 seconds, not a lot of people want to see a rematch. So the UFC is reaching for new, fresh opponents, and all it really takes is talking a little bit of shit, and Juliana Pena is doing just that. I don't think she deserves it, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's one, more likely 2 wins away from a title shot. It would be very interesting if Miesha Tate progressed past Jessica Ai, which I am picking Ai in that fight. But if Tate won, do we see a coach versus student, Tate versus Pena fight? You know, Tate was not only Pena's coach on Tough, I guess it was Tough 20, but the two have seemed to be very close friends, trained a lot together. Will the UFC try and make it? And if they do, will they agree to fighting one another? Only time will tell, people. We'll move on to lightweight fights. The first one being Michael Chiesa versus Mitch Clark. A lot of back and forth between the two. Apparently, Chiesa was very turned off that Mitch Clark asked for Chiesa specifically, which is a weird thing to get mad about. It isn't like Clark's openly talking shit about you. He just wants to fight you. Like, is that really going to be enough to set you off? Either way, Michael Chiesa defeats Mitch Clark. The co-main event, probably I don't know if controversial is the right word, but the most talked about fight, because it was a very, very close fight. A lot of folks judged it 29-28 Masvidal. A lot of folks judged it 29-28 to Al Iaquinta. I scored it 29-28 toward Al. Judges and fans alike seem to like to give a lot of credit to just throwing punches that don't land. And yeah, Masvidal was throwing more. Yeah, Al's face was cut and Masvidal's wasn't. But you watch the fight. Who was landing the better strikes? Who was the better fighter? I think Al Iaquinta was for sure the better fighter. And I don't know, the fans had a kind of sour reaction to it. And I'll play a clip. Al, he's not called Raging Al Iaquinta for no reason. The guy's got heart. The guy's got guts. And he fought his ass off. And this is what I fucking hate. When there is a judge's decision that the crowd does not agree with, the crowd will boo the fighter that won like it's his fault. Like, dude, take it to Twitter. Take it to tweeting at the judges you thought scored it shitty. Don't boo the fighter who just fought his ass off. And yeah, maybe in your opinion, he lost the fight 2-1. So the fuck what? Don't boo him. It isn't like he's, oh, boo, he's paying off the judges. It's one of the worst things you can do as a fan. Because I'm fucking sorry, but most fans, these sloppy motherfuckers, are, just doing what the fuck ever, 40 hours a week. They drag their ass to an arena. These fighters have been training for this moment literally their entire lives. And even if Masvidal won and you thought Al won the fight and you boo him, don't fucking boo him. These people are so dedicated and are going out there like the fucking Romans fighting lions, and you're just I'm sorry. That's a pet peeve of mine. I might never get past. But the crowd boos Al, and raging Al Iaquinta does not take very kindly to it. Let's listen to the clip.
And 29-28 for the winner by split decision, raging Al Iaquinta.
Give me a minute, Al. Give me just a minute. All right, well, the crowd doesn't like the decision. Just give me a minute here with Al Iaquinta. Congratulations, 4th consecutive win. You really rallied after a tough first round. I know you don't like that crowd reaction, but you were strong in rounds 2 and 3. Congratulations. Your thoughts on the fight?
Whatever, man. Well, are you guys booing me? Are you guys? You better not boo me. I fought my off. You. I fought my off tonight.
Obviously, you had to dig deep after that first round. Your thoughts going into that second round? You felt like you had the cardio to hold up?
I'm good.
Al Iaquinta.
And you can't blame him. You know, he tried to walk away, and I can't blame Anik either. You know, it's his job to follow and be like, hey, I just need a second. Oh no, Al will learn from this and mature and all that, but Jorge Masvidal is not a joke. He is really an elite gatekeeper at 155. And Al, in my opinion, passed that test. So we'll see what is next for him. You know, I've had chats with friends of mine, like the Jew Ross Finkelstein, who thinks Al, in a very short time, will be a title contender. And I've also had chats with friends like Jay Jeans, who think he's not really a threat at 155. It's very interesting. Usually there's a consensus thought on a young guy, whether he's going to be a future champion or whether he doesn't have what it takes. In Al's case, there's a lot of folks on either side of the fence. Very interested to hear who he gets matched up against next. I think it'll likely be a top 10 opponent. And I don't know. I think I might put a few ducats on Al Iaquinta. We do have a call coming in. We'll answer it and see who's calling. What is going on? It is the MMA Podcast. What's up, brother?
Jake, this is Ramses from the Word on the Street.
Doesn't sound like Ramses.
That's because I feel like shit and I'm dizzy. But my point is, it doesn't sound like you on the stream. Your voice and audio is moving at least twice normal speed, and it keeps clipping and repeating itself. Check your Twitter.
I don't. Oh, I do have dizzy listening. Your voice is 2x speed. It might be a Ustream problem because I've been watching it on Audacity. It seems normal. Ramses, are you doing well? Are you speaking to us from the Austin ER? What the fuck's going on, buddy?
I am headed to the bathroom. This is making me dizzy, and I'll just stop right there. But trust me, man, there's something going on the stream. I'll try alternate methods, but yeah, man, good. Whatever I can hear so far has been pretty good, man. I'll be back soon. Apologies to everybody, and word on the street.
Word on the street. It is Ramses dialing in, that beautiful fuck. And yeah, he says my voice is 2x speed. I don't know if this is an issue on Ustream, but the feed seems normal on Audacity. So hopefully I won't need to jimmy with the audio file too much when I upload it to iTunes and YouTube. Oh man, poor fucking Ramses. That motherfucker is so sick I couldn't even recognize him. I was like, this isn't you. Yeah, I guess it is. But shit, we'll keep it moving on. The main event, Chad Mendes taking on Ricardo Lamas. This went exactly how I thought it would, exactly how a lot of folks thought it would. Chad with the first round TKO. Lamas is not a bum, but Chad Mendes is a motherfucker. In my opinion, he gives both Jose Aldo and Conor their toughest fight in the UFC. Either way, he is the best pound for pound fighter in the UFC without a belt. Maybe sans Johnny Hendricks. Oh no, he's got crazy striking power, crazy wrestling. I don't want to accuse anyone of steroids and say that they're for sure on the sauce when they've never tested positive, but he did look a little bit different at the weigh-ins. He looked less cut up, but you can't really say a guy's off the sauce when he finishes the fight in 165 seconds. Shout out to Chad Mendes, who was awarded with a $50,000 bonus for performance of the night, along with Juliana Pena, Dustin Poirier, and Timothy Johnson, the heavyweight who fought on the prelims and beat Shamil Abdurakhimov. Let's move on, I guess. We're past UFC Krakow, past UFC Fairfax. So, people, it's time. Let's get to the news. And the first bit of news, it's a double bit of news about Benson Henderson. First bit of news, we want to give him a little bit of congrats. A few days ago, he posted that he would be having his first kid with his wife, who he proposed to after, I guess, the UFC on Fox card. What was that, April 2013, where he beat Melendez, I want to say. So shout out to them, shout out on the new baby. And it also looks like Bendo is going to be taking on the lightweight Michael Johnson. He's coming back down to 155. He just beat Brandon Thatcher 170. I don't know what to make of his stock now. I mean, he was one of the best lightweights we've ever seen, and then he sort of got knocked off a little bit. Then he moved up to 170 and knocked off maybe the brightest prospect in the division, and now he's coming back down. And according to sources, the UFC is working toward booking Michael Johnson versus Benson Henderson as the main event of the July 12th Ultimate Fighter 21 finale in Florida. This would be at lightweight. The organization has yet to finalize a venue to host the event, though with the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood and the BB&T Center in Sunrise being the current frontrunners, we should hear an official announcement soon. This is an interesting fight. I think this is a fight that Michael Johnson, Johnson is all around very good, and he's really good at taking advantage of fighters who aren't all around skilled. If they lack in wrestling, he'll take advantage of that wrestling deficiency. If they lack in striking, he'll outstrike them. Bendo, I don't know if he's the guy he can get that advantage on. And like we've seen in so many fights, I'm going to pick Bendo here just because, this guy is maybe the most well-conditioned athlete, not just in the UFC now, the most well-conditioned athlete we've ever seen. I mean, he outpaced the shit out of a Diaz brother. That's hard to do. So, Bendo versus Michael Johnson. We may see it at the Tough 20 finale from Florida, which shout out to them doing a fight in Florida. I used to live in that state, and they never did any fights there. So it's good to see that. Another bit of sort of out there, doesn't mean too much news. Ronda Rousey visits with Manny Pacquiao, which is cool, I guess. I would like to see Manny win just based on the fact that he's probably a much better person than Floyd. I don't even know if that's a debatable thing. I mean, Floyd is a great boxer, but he's a fucking asshole. Manny seems like a good dude, but as much as I want to talk up Manny, if you're putting money on him, you're a dumb motherfucker. I'm sorry. Yes, Manny is a great guy, and Floyd seems like an asshole, but you look at their styles, And these people saying Manny's going to win, I just say, how? Manny, oh, he's going to win by KO. Like, yeah, because a guy who hasn't gotten a KO in the last 5 years is going to knock out the best defensive boxer ever. As much as you want to hate on Floyd and call out his character, which you're free to do, it's America. You can tweet whatever you want. If you're letting your heart choose the fight and you're saying Manny is going to win and you're putting money on it, that is an unwise bet. Rousey, I guess, is going to get the only free seat in the arena, which, hey, she's the best female martial artist. She's the most well-recognized female martial artist of all time, and hey, you can't blame her for that. Another female martial artist, Felice Herrig, calling out the game Mortal Kombat 10. Apparently she thinks Cassie Cage is a ripoff from her, because it's a blonde chick who takes selfies and blows bubble gum. Not sure where I'm going with this story, but I just thought it was worth mentioning because it's so ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, man, if you're an MMA fan, you've probably seen the pictures of Conor McGregor's new tiger tattoo that he's posted on Instagram, and it's still not 100% verified if it's a real tattoo or a Photoshop or a temporary tattoo or what the fuck it was. But we thought the same thing with the giant monkey he tatted on his chest that I'm sure the UFC was pissed off about. So he gets a giant monkey tatted on his chest. That's apparently like the logo for his gym or something. And then he starts showing up in pictures now with a tiger on his belly button. Like a big ass going from like his navel to maybe the middle of his torso. Like, I don't know, like 10 inches by 10 inches of just a portrait of like a tiger. Like you're looking him in the fucking face. I don't know if this is a real tattoo, but Jesus Christ, Connor, I know you're a crazy Irishman, but tone it down with these ridiculous animal tats. Moving on, I said we would touch on it. Joanne Calderwood posts this very long post. I'll get through it as quick as I can. Basically saying she's blown away by the support. I want you to know the truth. I try my best not to give up. Didn't pull out because it was the only thing I had to hold on to. It has turned into my only purpose in life. Sometimes it's best to put your hands up and not say you're not okay. Blah, blah, blah. I'm my own worst enemy. I think I can deal with anything as long as I can train. It's my personal life. It's not been good. To make matters worse, basically her manager / boyfriend dumped her the night before the fight, which is some cold-blooded shit. I don't know the dude's name, but dude, come on. Even if you really gotta leave the chick, save it for like a few days after the fight. I don't know. Don't completely fuck her head up. Joanne, if you are listening, a good friend of mine, Jay Jeans, lives not too far from you in England, and I think he would be a formidable suitor. Dr. Knee Evil. I'm interested. This puts a lot more interest, at least for me, in her next fight, to see really how much that this breakup mentally affected her, because we've known Joanne to be a pretty good fighter, and she for sure looked like a shell of herself in that fight. So JoJo Calderwood, we'll see if her loss this past weekend at UFC Krakow was more indicative of a lack of skill or more indicative of just a traumatic personal event that went down. Moving on down the news docket, Glory World Series confirms Phil Baroni turned down a fight against Joe Schilling. Phil Baroni's pulling a Mayhem Miller. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't dislike the guy, just like I don't dislike Mayhem. But the guy's going full apeshit retard. Like, first he gets kicked off a plane and is doing dumb shit on a plane and saying a bunch of dumb shit and gets kicked off. And now he's calling out Joe Schilling. Dude, don't call out Joe Schilling. Joe Schilling, yeah, he just lost at Bellator to a grappler. GWF, as my buddy WBG would say. But holy shit, Joe Schilling is a motherfucker of a striker. And Phil Baroni's calling him a bitch and this and that. I don't know if he's looking for an ass whooping, but whether they fought in MMA or in kickboxing, I think Joe Schilling beats the shit out of Phil Baroni. He was just on the FRB show. If you haven't heard his appearance, check it out soon. But, yeah, Glory World Series confirms that Phil Baroni turns down the fight after talking a massive amount of shit. I don't know if these guys are friends and we're just doing a joke. Like, it almost seemed like a joke. It was so ridiculous and seemingly based out of nowhere, where Phil's just calling out Joe. Like, I don't know. Once again, the phone number is 213-457-3380 if you want to call in, or if you want to tweet us. We're at the MMA Podcast. I hope if Ramses is listening that we've leveled out. I don't know if we've been having internet issues. If it's issues with Ustream, I might go back and listen to a couple of shows to just make sure it's not all fucked up. Maybe he's just on the good PCP. We'll never know, people. Bellator. Speaking of Bellator, Schilling lost his recent fight, but Bellator has signed former number 6 light heavyweight Phil Davis, posting 11 hours ago, quote, "It's a wonderful day here at Bellator MMA. We're proud to welcome the world's number 6 light heavyweight Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis, to the family." I saw, speaking of Jay, who I just gave a shout out to recently, he made a good point that this is one of the few guys where his career might actually be better off in Bellator. You know, it's seemingly been made apparent that he's not going to be able to make a title run in the UFC, but in Bellator, he could make a title run easy. He could make a lot of money, and Phil's pretty good at trash talking, but I don't know, it doesn't exactly work out when he gets his ass handed to him in fights. So with the, lesser competition, Phil might be able to feel more comfortable coming out of his shell. I mean, the current 205 champ is Liam McGeary, which, no offense to Liam, but I don't know if he has what it takes to be top 10 in the UFC. Let's be real, people. So seeing Phil sign with Bellator, I mean, Phil Davis could very well be in 6 months, 9 months, a year, their biggest star. I mean, you look at who they have now. Pardon me. You have Kimbo, you have Tito, you have a bunch of bums, people. Based on talent, Will Brooks is probably your best fighter. Which, no offense to Will Brooks, but Will Brooks is more a talent than he is a name. I don't know if he's really been that successful in making himself a fan favorite. Phil has already been in Sprite ads. He knows how to talk. And by the end of 2015, I'm thinking he'll probably be your Bellator champion. Really quick, speaking of Tough 17, I'm about to play a little speech by Chael Sonnen. I don't know, this is a thing. I realized that I was going to be doing the podcast solo, and I might need a little minute and a half long break about halfway through to give myself a breather, get a sip of water, take a pee if I need to. I don't need to pee, but Chael Sonnen giving this speech before Kelvin Gastelum fights in The Ultimate Fighter 17. We all know how Kelvin Gastelum has now made a name for himself, not at middleweight, but at welterweight. I don't know, whether you are a fan of Chael or a Chael hater, just open your ears and listen to the voice of greatness, people.
On fight day, the only thing that changes is the environment. Just to give you guys an example, it's a very, very famous study done. This gentleman brings in a long 2x4. He sets the 2x4 down and has a group like this, and he asks random people to walk the 2x4 heel to toe. So they lay the 2x4 on the mat, everybody gets up, and they walk it like it's no big thing, right? Big deal. He brings in 2 big step ladders. He hangs the 2x4 across the ladders, and he asks them who's ready to walk it. Nobody raises their hand. The environment changed, but the act doesn't. And on game day, environment changes. Why? Because they put a referee in there, make you take your t-shirt off, they bring in Uncle Dana. It's the same thing. It's the same 2x4. It's the same ring. We got a guy going into battle tomorrow. And believe me, he's got his game face on, but he's scared too. And so many times we try to find the right emotion. What emotion is going to help you? This is what helps you. Forward motion, getting your legs back, getting up off the bottom, working the whole time. Those are actions. Not one of those was an emotion. Anger, happiness, sad, fear, scared. Not one of those is going to get a judge to mark your name. This is what marks your name. Actions.
You know, you gotta work hard, and I just have tunnel vision, and it builds up like a fire inside of me. I just let it all go in the cage.
This team is coached by the reflection of perfection. We're demanding all of your attention. And John Jones, I want to know what you're going to do when you know who. How you going to deal with the team of steel, and how will you react when I put my boys on the attack?
Truly a treasure. I don't know what the UFC is fucking doing. Getting him off Fox Sports. Technically, I think his suspension ended January 1st, 2015. The UFC, I don't know if they actually have a vendetta against Chael. I actually hollered out to Dana White this past July at the Tough 19 finale, rehire Chael. And he looked up and laughed. But, I don't know, it is puzzling how, I mean, just looking at it as a marketing major, you're doing nothing but losing money, not having Chael on UFC tonight. And if Chael wanted to come back and fight, which I'm not sure if the desire is even there, he could have saved multiple cards that we've seen sort of ruined via injury this year. Speaking of Chael, you should listen to You're Welcome with Chael Sonnen recently, episode 27, which came out just, I think, a day or two ago. He had MMA judge Douglas Crosby on, and it was very interesting. Chael didn't hold back any punches. He got straight angry with Douglas Crosby, who, if you're not familiar with he's a complete piece of shit. I would love to have him on the show. Just to tear him up like Chael did. The guy, man, he's done so many shady things, whether he's corrupt or whether he's just a psychopath that likes to let his own personal biases sort of guide how he judges fights. I mean, the guy scored UFC 112, BJ Penn versus Frankie Edgar, a fight that Penn, in my opinion, won 3-2. The guy scores it 5-0, Frankie, and then goes on his like poor little blog and talks about how he loved seeing the stupid Penn fans being so angry and this and that. It's just, the guy is a complete cocksucker, and Chael tore him a new one, and I'm glad he did. So listen to You're Welcome with Chael Sonnen. Like I said, listen to the FRB show. If you're a hockey fan, really quick shout out, listen to Merrick versus Wyszynski. That's Marek versus Wyszynski, Wyshynski. Very good hockey podcast. The playoffs started tonight. I put a little bit of money on the Bolts to win it all, 12-1. People, let's go Tampa Bay. But, yeah, listen to You're Welcome. Listen to the FRB show. Listen to Merrick versus Wyszynski. If you've got a screen to watch stuff on, shit. If I'm shouting shit out, I saw an awesome 30 for 30 documentary. What was it called? Catching Hell, I think. It's the doc about Steve Bartman, which, man, it crazy doc. Yeah, Catching Hell. It came out 2012. The Steve Bartman story. I don't care if you don't give a shit about baseball. Just the story about this fan being in a spot any of us could have been in and turning into the pariah of Chicago. And the most interesting thing is this guy just disappears since then. It was 2003, 12 years ago, and the guy has been just in complete reclusion since. Rumors say he's still in Chicago, but he only uses cash. He never uses a credit card in fear that someone's like, Steve Bartman, you're the motherfucker. Apparently he changed his look up. Who the hell knows? But man, one of the wildest stories in sports in our lifetimes. Catching Hell, Rick and Morty, Kroll Show, I don't know, random things I like that I'll shout out. We'll move on. Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen, who we were just speaking of. If you want to take any of his rivalries, his rivalry against Silva, probably the most notable one. But Silva made waves on two fronts, I guess you can call it equally puzzling fronts. First, just about 19, 20 hours ago, he posts on Instagram, quote, I believe that there is some things that are unfinished between me and Nick Diaz. I now hope that you, Dana White, can accept my request and make a rematch possible in my country, Brazil. What? You want to rematch a guy who you beat handily and tested for steroids for? I guess the only sense I can make out of it is Anderson wants people so badly to think that this is the only fight he roided up for. Which, say all you want about his positive drug test, Masteron is not the sort of steroid that helps you recover from an injury. So everyone's saying, oh, he broke his leg and that's the only reason he took a steroid. No, shut the fuck up. Masteron is a weight-cutting steroid. I agree with Chael, who famously a few weeks ago on an AMA said, do I think Anderson was on the juice when I fought him? Sure. Was he on as much as me? No way. But Silva tests positive for steroids and apparently wants to fight Nick Diaz again. I don't see this fight getting much of a draw after it. Man, it seemed like such an exciting fight, almost a super fight leading up to it. And now that we're 2 or 3 months past it, all I can think of is both guys failed their drug tests. Like, come on. And yes, I do know that Nick Diaz failed for weed, and weed isn't that big of a thing, but he still failed his drug test. Like, come on. Be fucking professionals. Pass your drug tests. That's the thing that pops in my mind. I doubt the UFC makes it again, but it's sort of a head-scratcher as to why Andy wants to fight again. Sticking with Andy, apparently he reached an agreement to participate in the prelims. I don't know what you would call it, but Silva is lobbying to the Brazilian the Brazilian Taekwondo Federation. And he's going to be in their Olympic trials. I guess trials is what you would call it. He is suspended from the UFC after being caught for those positive tests, and he's now started preparing for the internal competition to be a part of Brazilian's Olympic Taekwondo team in 2016. Whatever, man. I don't know. It's just very sad, Silva used to be, in my opinion, one of the best pound for pound fighters ever, and I guess he still is. But I don't know. I would put GSP and John Jones 1 and 2, which kills me, because I don't know. I didn't necessarily, I've never necessarily been fans of either guy, but this whole drug test, at least in my eyes, really dampens what he's been able to do in his career. We'll move on. Speaking of Diaz's, we just talked about how Silva wanted a rematch against Nick. Nate, we talked about on the last show, being matched up against Matt Brown. Apparently that fight is canceled. Just a little while back, Nate Diaz appeared on the MMA Hour to discuss the entire situation. And then Brown tweets, "The fight against Nate Diaz isn't happening. I'll update you guys soon as I get the word on an opponent/date. Thank you for the support as always." And then he tweets, "By the way, I like watching Diaz fight lightweights. I wish him the best of luck in the future, and I'll be watching every time he fights." What happened here? Who fucking knows? Was Diaz high and he accepted it and then said no because he realized that a fight at welterweight really doesn't do anything for him? This is one of those fights where a win doesn't do much for either guy. I mean, if Brown wins, yeah, you beat a guy who should be at 155, awesome. If Nate wins, yeah, you won in a division you have no chance of getting the title at. Let's be honest, Nate Diaz is not an elite welterweight. He's a very good lightweight, could be elite. Who fucking knows? He's shown two sides of himself. Sort of like his brother, sort of like BJ. But that fight is canceled. So, I don't know. We'll see in the coming weeks, what is next for either guy. Speaking of canceled fights, Yoel Romero injured out of this weekend's fight against Jacare. And I told y'all 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said I would be shocked if Jacare actually fought Yoel Romero, because both dudes, I don't know, I hate to be sure of myself and be like, oh, so-and-so is for sure on the juice. Like, I had a friend of mine who put up this Facebook status being like, Rafael Dos Anjos is for sure taking steroids and it's a shame, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't disagree more, and it kind of pissed me off. But I said, you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if Romero versus Jacare got canceled, because of all the middleweights who may be juicing, those guys both stand out big time, and Yoel backs out. So, not shocked. I thought if either guy were to back out, it would be Jacare, because you just look at the way that guy's frame has changed from when he was struggling in Strikeforce to now. He went from a lean figure to just beast mode. But yeah, Yoel backs out, and in steps Chris Camozzi. They've fought before, Jacare and Chris, and Jacare tore him up. Jacare is a minus 1,400 favorite. But according to Dana, Chris is the only guy who took the fight. So maybe if that's true, good for Chris. Our buddy, the MMA Enthusiast, which if you aren't following him, follow his ass at MMA_enthusiast. And then another underscore. If you don't know how to spell enthusiast, Google that shit. So Yoel is injured. Chris Camozzi steps in. What was interesting, very interesting, Jacare's manager said that Michael Bisping was offered a fight, and Bisping turned it down. Michael Bisping, did you turn down a fight against Jacare Souza?
No. Jacare's manager said I turned down a fight with Jacare. That's a lie. The UFC never even got in touch. I'm fighting CB Dalloway April 25th. When I beat him, I'll happily beat you, Jacare. And your manager, I've got something to say to him as well. Liar.
And it's funny how you get tell he was rush talking just because he was held down to a 15-second Instagram video. But you heard him. He called him a liar. I would love to see Bisping progress past Dalloway, which I think he actually will. Yeah, this is another one of those. He said, she said, in all likelihood, the UFC probably realized that Jacare versus Bisping is a pretty big fight, not the sort of fight you want to make on a week's notice. We have a caller, and he's very well known to the MMA podcast community. He's calling in from the warm Pacific island of Guam. Davey boy, what the fuck is up?
What's happening, Jake from the MMA Podcast? Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, you called in at the perfect moment. We're just about to run down the home stretch, break down this weekend's card, all of that. You doing well, buddy?
Doing pretty well. Heard some breaking news. I heard that Phil Davis has signed with Bellator. I'm actually kind of shocked by that.
What do you think about Phil Davis in Bellator?
I think he's probably going to be one of the most dominant lightweights actually in that division. He's going to look like
lightweights. He's going to 155.
I mean light heavyweights. I'm sorry. I mean, he kind of does look like he does have that Urkel type of face to him and stuff like that, and that body build. So like him going to 155 could possibly happen, but no.
So like,
yeah, but I was shocked.
So
I was shocked.
Him at 205 is Stefan, and him at 155 is Urkel.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I was saying not many fighters would benefit more from being in Bellator than being in the UFC, but Phil Davis is one of those rare guys because, let's face it, he's not going to be a UFC champion at 205 anytime soon.
I agree with that one.
And in Bellator, he's got a pretty good skill of talking shit, but it always sort of falls flat when he loses fights. You look at the current champion at 205 in Bellator at Liam McGeary, not to take anything away from him, but Phil Davis could probably steamroll his ass.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, Phil Davis is a high-profile name, and you've seen how Bellator and how they're going through like the entertainment phase, basically, on how their whole like walking up to the ramp and stuff like that. I think I remember like seeing Chet Congo like on a Titantron, basically blowing out a fucking candle and then like walking to the ring and shit. You know, like it's gonna be that theatrical for Phil Davis, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Chet Congo, he just lost to King Mo. What do you think about King Mo versus Phil Davis for his first Bellator fight?
That could be a good fight to build up. I would say actually, I read this on a Twitter wire, and I actually kind of retweeted this, but Emmanuel Newton's suspension is actually going to be coming up, I think, like next month for popping hunt on weed. But a number one contender, you know, Emmanuel Newton versus Phil Davis actually sounds a little bit more enticing to me on that one. But King Mo, I would love to see that fight, or hell, like Tito Ortiz against King Mo would probably be better. And then you also have Emmanuel Newton, like bring back the tournament style. You know, that could work out real well.
And do you have a smoke alarm in your place that like the battery's low on? Because I'm hearing a faint squeak, and I don't know if it's sneakers on tile or a smoke alarm, but I'm hearing that faint squeak.
Well, maybe somewhere. Sometimes I don't pay attention to my own office.
Really quick before we move on, the other big bit of news. What did you think about Mirko Cro Cop elbowing a Joe Lauzon-esque scar into the dome of Gabe Gonzaga?
That was insane, actually. Just looking at the thing, that reminded me of
brutal.
That was brutal, but I've seen worse, actually. You remember Vitor versus Marvin Eastman? That one was pretty funny.
You can see his skull. You can see like a big chunk of his skull.
Yeah, I think Angela Magana tweeted that she wanted to scissor that vagina face of Gabriel Gonzaga, actually. That was pretty disgusting when she tweeted that.
She's a disgusting whore.
Yeah, she is. That fucking cunt. Yeah.
But...
yeah, other than that, man, yeah, just glad to be on, though, man. Fucking...
Yeah.
Just, I'm late, though.
No, yeah, it switched around a bunch. It was going to be me and Ramsey St. Allen, And then Ramses felt sick, and it was going to be me and Alan and Alan's brother who had yet to make an appearance. And then Alan went MIA, and Alan's brother's like, yeah, I probably want to make my debut as the third mic because, you know, it might be a little sketchy, me going from never being on the show to being the co-host. But Davey Boy,
Right.
clutch. He is the life raft saving us. We're an hour and 14 in. And we're safe, people. Davey Boy is here.
Yep. Sorry for the fake parts and the virgin ears. This is going to be very disrespectful.
Where do we find you on Twitter? And say some offensive shit for the listeners.
I am on Twitter. Okay, you can find me on Twitter. I am Davey Boy. That's DAVEI_BOI. My Twitter reads, I am an MMA fanalist. I'm a fan and I analyze fights. If you don't like the shit that I say, I'm fucking sorry. It comes from the truth, but I'm a fan number one. If you do some dumb shit on Twitter or you do some dumb shit during the fights, I'm going to say some shit about it. If you don't like the shit, just fucking block me or mute me. Whatever. But suck a dick.
Dave, I didn't know there was a wrestler named Davey Boy until we had been friends. Is your Twitter name an homage to the wrestler Davey Boy?
A little bit. It is actually just growing up, watched a lot of wrestling, especially with my friends. They're like, Davey Boy, what's up, man? So it's kind of stuck with me. So I add a little bit more funk to it. Just instead of the Y's, put the I's in there and stuff. So a little bit more funky, you know, for my eyes.
Yo, I got called Jake the Snake a shitload growing up, so I know what it's like to have a nickname based off wrestling.
But they also evolved like other nicknames with me too, because like I'm actually like half Korean as well, so they always call me like the Korean Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, and I'm like, you motherfucker, that's my
Korean
dick.
Bulldog, that's hilarious.
Dude, yeah, I had so many nicknames like no other, but like those
North or
are always,
South?
like, what? Oh, South. Oh, come on now.
I'm fucking with you, Davey Boy.
I know.
Let's get into UFC on Fox in Chicago. The card was announced. We're gonna have the rematch, which they've tried to make it twice. First, Barao backed out last minute because he like slipped and banged his head on a tub, and they subbed in Joe Soto. Then it was gonna go down again at 186, but there was another injury. Now we should see it at UFC on Fox in Chicago. What are you thinking about? You know, I mean, Renan Barao was being hailed as this pound-for-pound king, and Dillashaw has seemed to be the only chink in his armor. Do you think there's any chance he roars back, takes the title back from the Team Alpha Male standout TJ Dillashaw?
Well, I love it. You know, you bring up something too. It was funny. Like I actually like was dying laughing like watching that fight when him and Barao and Dillashaw were fighting, and Barao gets his ass whipped for 5 rounds. But I loved it before how like how the UFC was promoting Barao undefeated, the number 1 pound ranked fight in the world, stuff like that, and he got his ass whipped by
you watched the start of the pay-per-view where like each fighter says, you know, oh, I'm gonna go out there. Barao says there's no way that TJ Dillashaw is going to be able to keep up with his striking. And Dillashaw just goes out and embarrasses him.
Yeah. Whips his ass on the feet. Just like Floyd Mayweather style on the feet. It just whips his ass. Like, it was like, I could just see Dana White's like, dude, we should not like hype Renan Barao like this. Like, he's probably like eating his words after that point. But moving along, so you were talking about the main event, Dillashaw and Barao too.
Yeah.
You know, I think this fight's gonna be obviously this fight's gonna be a little bit different for Barao's sake and stuff, but Dillashaw, I mean, he has Dwayne Bang Ludwig, and like that guy knows how to formulate a fucking plan like no other. So I think the fight's still gonna kind of go the same way. I think Dillashaw's still gonna be holding the strap and stuff. I think Dillashaw saw something in Barao's armor and knows where to hit. I see it going the same way, but is Barao gonna be? Is he gonna be more prepared this time? Definitely, he will. And but I see Dillashaw having a strap around his waist still.
Yeah, I've seen fights where a guy gets a flash KO, and I think, man, I don't know if the better man won. If you watch the first fight between TJ Dillashaw and Renan Barão, you know the better man won. Because TJ Dillashaw absolutely clowned Renan Barão for 5 rounds. Finished it in the 5th round. Yeah,
I mean, that's arguably like the biggest upset besides GSP and Matt Serra.
Yeah,
but like,
and Serra arguably caught him where TJ just pieced him up for 23 minutes.
He dotted him. For 5 rounds. So but going back, and another thing too, I loved it how they were so pissed. They were so pissed at Barão when he couldn't make it for the second fight. So what do? They put this motherfucker basically on the prelims. They basically put this guy on the prelims for his next fight against
Gagnon.
Who the fuck is Mitch Gagnon? Like, who is this guy? Yeah, exactly. But then, like, this is like Barão's tune-up fight, and now it's like, Renan Barão's back. No, the fuck he's not. He never left. He just wasn't there. You know, it's so fucking crazy to me. God, I love the UFC. I love the UFC and how they have to hype up fights now. Like, sometimes I'm backtracking, but like sometimes I wish UFC was back on Spike. I think they're doing way too much. They're doing way too much with Fox. This whole Fox deal, I think, is actually like biting them in the ass. To be honest,
it is, man. It is, and for the 2 millionth time, I'll say, it's just, dude. I would much rather, have 2 cards a month and have the cards be deep as shit than have cards every weekend where it's like, yeah, you have a good main event and co-main event. But then, dude, a perfect example. You look at the next 2 cards. You have UFC on Fox, which the top 4 fights are dope. Machida Rockhold. Jacare, Swanson versus Max Holloway, Herrick versus Paige Van Zandt. And then the next week, the pay-per-view, you have on the main card, you have to pay $60 if you want to see Fabio Maldonado fight Steve Bossy, and John McDessie fight Shane Campbell, and Yves Jabouin fight Thomas Almeida. Like, no wonder all your fans are streaming this shit illegally. These are fucking terrible. Dude, these are all terrible fights. And then your main and co-main event, you have Mighty Mouse and Bisping fighting bums. Like, come the fuck on.
Like, how's that? Oh, dude, you bring up an awesome point. Like they're promoting Bisping and CB Dollaway. CB Dollaway with 9 KOs. Like, do you not realize this guy got like fucking a liver kick in his last fight against Machida, and it was like in 10 seconds.
Lyoto Machida murdered him in like 1 minute.
Exactly, dude. I'm like, how are you promoting this? Like, this is ridiculous. This is so awesome. So awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this Fox deal, you fucking said it. It is hurting them because, like,
it really is.
Literally, UFC on Fox 15, this weekend's card, I'd rather watch that. I would rather watch the free fights than the pay-per-view fights that the UFC wants me to pony up $60 for. Not that I ever would promote watching illegal streams, but for sure, go to a bar that's streaming it legally. Cough, 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 cough. I'm gonna watch an illegal stream.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're still paying for it too. Like, if you go to a bar, and like, here's another thing too. If you go to a bar and they have UFC over there, like, you have to pay a fee. You have to pay like a $5 to $10 fee to like go to that bar if they're playing that event, and that money goes to the UFC.
And I'm pissed dude. If I own a Buffalo Wild Wings and I gotta pay $2,000 to stream UFC 186, I'm pissed as fuck.
So like any customer that goes in on an event that's coming up that place is advertising the UFC, like they pay like a fee for like any customer coming in and stuff like that. It's like, hey, $5 so you could like come in here and watch this fight. It's crazy, dude. Like, these guys are like so milking in the money, but yet like they still pay like their underclass fighters basically like $4,000 fucking dollars Jesus Christ, dude. Like, pay these motherfuckers at least a little bit more. Fuck.
And Mighty Mouse, which it's worth bringing up, says, quote, if people don't want to watch UFC 186, quote, that's their fucking bad.
It is.
Look, I'm sorry I don't want to watch. I'm sorry I don't want to watch you like disintegrate this bum, and that's the only fight on the card. Don't be mad at the fans. Be mad at the UFC that you have five fights. When it comes to a pay-per-view main card, you have 5 fights, and you go back 3 or 4 years, you have 5 all solid fights. Five fights that every fight, as an MMA fan, you're invested in the outcome of. And now, with them spreading themselves so fucking thin with a card every fucking weekend, you're taking fights that would bolster a pay-per-view and you're putting it as the main event as a UFC on Fox or a UFC fight night. So you have cards like this where literally three of the 5 fights on the pay-per-view main card, Maldonado Bassi, McDessie Campbell, Jabouin versus Almeida, I don't give a fuck about, and I'm a hardcore fan. Like, come on.
Exactly, but paying $60 for a fucking car like that, and it's like, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that. But it'd be more entertaining seeing DJ go up against Dillashaw. To be honest with you, like, I mean, like that should be enticing to him. I mean, you look at Dillashaw and you look at Demetrius Johnson. You know, I mean, they're both champions of their own division and stuff. Demetrius is literally cleaning out the flyweight division, even though it's a brand new division. But you move him up to fight Dillashaw, champion versus champion. Do you not think that would entice somebody to like pick up that card? Maybe. I mean, I'm just saying. You know,
Mighty Mouse has said he won't take the fight unless he gets paid $2 million. Which is so funny because the UFC would make so much money off of that. I mean, to put it in perspective, I think Floyd Mayweather might make $200 million fighting Manny Pacquiao. Like, how does the UFC not make that fight?
I mean, they can make the fight. I mean, is it gonna be like a Diaz and Silva or John Jones and Cormier? Maybe not. But it's gonna like, you know, catch a lot of people's eyes. Like, oh, dude, like Demetrius Johnson, like cleaning up the flyweight division, and like these are for casual fans. These are for people that like are not like the hardcore like fans that would like go on the underground or whatever. Like these are the people like that watch the cars. Like, oh, I know who Demetrius Johnson is. Oh, he's moving up to like the 135 division to fight Demetrius Johnson. They would fucking pay for that shit. I would pay for that shit to see it.
And it's sad how stingy the UFC seems to be, where a fighter's begging for $2 million for a fight that's going to generate way more than that. I don't know. This is like, I don't know if it's the fans showing prejudice or, you know, against the lighter weights, or if it's the fucking UFC.
I don't know. Like, I think it's maybe a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I mean, I am at some points, you know, I am. But now seeing Demetrius Johnson, like, finish fights, you know, it's coming a little bit more enticing. But who can, like, beat Demetrius Johnson? Who can they hype to beat Demetrius Johnson? That's like saying the same thing about Ronda Rousey. Like, who can really beat Ronda Rousey right now? Like, if you really think about it. But people still tune in to watch anyway.
Do you think anyone at flyweight has a chance of beating Mighty Mouse currently? I don't.
Nope. Hell no. They need to do something with that division. I mean, they really do.
And it's funny how when they establish it, they're like, this is going to be Joseph Benavidez's division. He was the heavy favorite. And, man, it's even wilder, you know, thinking how it was set up as a 4-man bracket. And if the fight would have been administered, I don't know what the right word was, but it was just so ironic that this UFC card where you had the semis where Benavidez beat the fuck out of the guy he fought, the Japanese fellow,
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
If Al was on, he would know.
Yeah. And then you have Mighty Mouse versus Ian McCall, which is such a weird case because Ian is roaring back at the end of the third round, and it gets scored a draw.
Left, winning that fight.
Yeah, and it gets scored a draw. And ironically, it is the first UFC event that has the parameters built in that if it's a draw, you get a sudden death fourth and fifth round. And the judges read it wrong, or the announcer read it wrong, and where it should have gotten that emergency fourth and fifth round, it never did, and it just ended up a tie. And watching that fight, Ian McCall in a fourth and fifth round would have decimated Mighty Mouse and would have turned history on its head.
Yeah, that division was doomed from the start because of that. I think of that call, and that card was in Australia, I believe. As a matter of fact,
it was
Australia. What I do like is actually when that athletic commission owned up to their mistakes, like on the press conference, like, dude, we fucked up. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be a draw.
I know, it's like, so we were supposed to. This was literally the first fucking card that had built into the rules that if it's a draw, you go to a fourth and fifth round, and nothing happened. This was March 3rd, 2012, Sydney, Australia, UFC on FX, Alves versus Campman.
And here's a little history lesson for you too on this one. That's the same thing that happened in the lightweight division in the glory days of the UFC. BJ Penn against Carl
Uno. Yep.
They fought to a draw. And then like that division kind of dissolved from there until Kenny Florian and Sean Sherk fought for the lightweight belt.
So the fighter we couldn't think of is Yasuhiro Urashitani. Who Joseph Benavidez knocked out 11 seconds into the second round. And then you had a majority draw. And, man, Ian McCall, you ask any UFC fan, any MMA fan who watched that card, in a fourth and fifth round, Ian McCall would have won. But Mighty Mouse got his draw, and he got the fight again, and he hasn't looked back since.
Yeah, and it was bad for Ian too, because I mean, look at Ian McCall's career. Like, I think if Ian would have won that fight, he'd probably be a different fighter. He probably
would have gotten a UFC title shot, which he still has never gotten.
Yep. I mean, just look at the luck that this guy's had. He was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight. No, he did. He fought. Who was his last fight against? The guy that never.
John Lineker. He lost.
Lineker. Well, here's the thing. Like, they were supposed to fight prior to. Lineker and McCall were supposed to fight. McCall gets fucking sick after the fucking weigh-in, so they couldn't fight. Lineker doesn't make weight yet again. Lineker still wins the fight. And it's like, dude, McCall has such bad luck. It has to be the fucking mustache. You need to get rid of that mustache, Ian McCall. It has to be the mustache. Like, get rid of that thing.
And UFC 183 pissed me the fuck off because it's like, oh, well, we're going to move John Lineker and Kelvin Gastelum up a weight class, even though this is the fourth time Lineker hasn't made weight and the second time Gastelum hasn't. Like, come on. But, yeah, you know, before that draw at UFC on FX in Australia, Ian McCall was 11-2. Since then, he's 2-3.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean,
get cut?
You obviously had the whole thing with his wife and the whole thing with Shane Del Rosario and all that, which I'm sure rocked him. But, man, it was a defining moment for both fighters. I don't want to stray too off track. We were talking about UFC on Fox in Chicago.
Sorry about that. That was like 20 minutes.
No, dude. I fucking love these random tangents we go on. We have the bantamweight title rematch between Brown and Dillashaw. We also have Anthony Pettis against Miles Jury, which I like the fight because it is good for both guys. It gives Pettis a chance to get a win against a very formidable lightweight in Miles Jury. And on Jury's case, you know, no pun intended. Jury gets a shot against a former champion, a baller, and Jury gets a chance to just vault over a bunch of lightweights if he wins this fight. Problem is, I don't see him winning. Whether it's grappling or striking, I think Pettis is miles past Jury, and I think he wins this fight easy via finish in the first or second. Yeah, you like it. I think he wins by. I think like Pettis beats Jury by miles.
I honestly, I think I would if I'm a betting man, I think I would take Miles Jury.
Really?
I think Pettis is coming in way too fast. I think he's coming back way too fast. To be honest with you, I think he's pissed off that he lost that belt as well as he should be, because he shouldn't have lost it at all. And I think he's going in there with the wrong head. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not in his camp or anything like that, but when they announced that fight, I'm like, wow, that's pretty fucking fast, dude. Knowing the fact that he's injury prone, he just got surgery on his orbital bone. He broke his orbital bone and he's coming back this fucking fast. Bro, dude, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. I think Jury's a sleeper. I've always seen Jury was a sleeper, to be honest with you. And he's 15-1. His fight, he lost to Donald Cerrone. It took Cerrone 3 rounds to beat him. He got taken to the distance, and I would bet money on Miles Jury.
We've seen broken orbital bones. It doesn't seem like it's much of a career-threatening thing. Ask Josh Koscheck about a fucking broken orbital. Ask Michael Bisping about a broken orbital. I think he might not be taking this as seriously as he needs to.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. And you bring up Josh Koscheck, man. Do you know, they fought in Canada, broke his orbital bone. They had to drive him. He couldn't fly. They had to drive him. Dude, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't be that high up and have my head explode.
Ask Joe Dirksen from UFC 78. I mean,
yeah,
just broken or especially the fact he got it broken the first round. The fact that he wants to dive back in it so quick, hats off, I guess. But I don't know. Last fight before we get to this weekend's UFC on Fox card and then close this bitch out. Jessica Ai against Miesha Tate. And I think both of these women deserve a fight against Ronda Rousey 1,000 times more than bitch Correia does. But, hey, the UFC is cashing in on the whole bitch Correia versus the 4 horsewomen thing, what the fuck ever. But who do you have here? Jessica Ai, Miesha Tate?
I like Jessica Ai. I think I like Miesha Tate too, but I like Jessica Ai more on this one. I think besides Miesha Tate fighting Ronda Rousey, I think this is going to be Miesha's test right here in a formidable opponent, and I think Jessica Ai is going to be that girl to beat her. To be honest with you, I think Jessica is more hungrier than Miesha Tate. I think Miesha is going to be she's going to have Rich Franklin status in a sense where she's never going to get the title. But she's going to be the face of the UFC and stuff like that anytime she fights, win or lose. And I think Jessica Ai is going to be the one to beat her. Look who Miesha Tate fought. She fought fucking this Rai Cormier from Japan. Made it look fucking silly, first off. And they were hyping up this
guy who, when I was watching videos of this chick training, I didn't know if I was watching a legit MMA video or if I had accidentally clicked my Japanese porn bookmark. Very strange videos coming from Rin Nakai.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Who's really fought? Who she really fought that tested her? I think. Well,
her last fight, Sarah McMahon at UFC 183. That was a very legit win.
Okay, yeah, all right. Sorry about that one. Yeah, I digress a little bit, but. Besides that, I think I like Jessica Ai on that one all day. Someone from Cleveland needs a win. Damn, it should be Jessica Ai. Fuck, they haven't won shit in a long time. As a matter of fact, they haven't won shit at all.
Yeah,
ever. So if they need a champion, it should be fucking Jessica Ai from Cleveland.
Aside from The Miz winning the WWE title for like 2 days.
Oh God. The guy.
I think this is going to be a very close fight. You like how I started with the I and then I paused because that's her name. Currently, I think that Jessica Ai is the most deserving woman of a title shot, and I think that she should fight Ronda over bitch Kohea, and I think we should see. I think we should see Ronda Rousey versus Jessica Ai for the title, and bitch Kohea versus Miesha Tate for the next shot. Unfortunately, bitch Kohea has talked herself into a spot, so we see I versus Tate.
You know what? Like, you bring up something. Hold on. I kind of want to backtrack on that one. You bring up something. I think one of the reasons why I think bitch Kohea is actually, I mean, to be kind of serious, and because we made a lot of jokes about this, like on the last podcast I was at. I think one of the reasons why Ronda and bitch Kohea are fighting because it's going to be in Brazil. I don't think the numbers of Brazil are doing as well as they should be when it comes to pay-per-view buys and stuff like that. Sending Ronda Rousey over there might help it, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people knows who Ronda Rousey is. Like, oh my gosh, Ronda Rousey's gonna fight in Brazil, and she's fighting one of our hometown countrymen. Like, yeah, I want to see this fight. It could have been one of those moves right there. And with that being said, does bitch Kohea really deserve a fucking title shot? No, she doesn't. But she's there because of the fact that she's Brazilian. The fight's going to happen in Brazil. Ronda wants to go to Brazil, and the UFC needs Ronda to go to Brazil.
And I thought it was very interesting when you saw the first leg of the UFC World Tour with Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor, and you had the whole Brazilian crowd chanting for Jose, ooh, by my head, booing Conor, all of that, and then Ronda speaks, and you don't hear many boos. And I think that's because these fans who, as barbaric as they may act, realize that, hey, Ronda's going to beat this chick the fuck up. We should at least be a little bit appreciative of the fact that we're going to get the next Ronda Rousey fight in Brazil. Which
exactly.
I was in the crowd for UFC 175, Rousey versus Davis. And if I can offer up any suggestions to the Brazilian fans in the HSBC arena, it's this. Don't blink. Because before you fucking know it, Ronda Rousey is going to be tabbing a bitch out. But back to I versus Tate. I think I deserves the shot over bitch Kohea, but stylistically, I think this is a bad matchup for I, and maybe I'm just playing the devil's advocate here, but I think Miesha Tate, if it comes to wrestling, I think she's got the advantage over I. When it comes to striking, I might be a natural strawweight. I mean, shit, she may want to choose to move down after this because she's much smaller than Tate, and I think Tate's going to have the reach and the size advantage to have the advantage striking, so I'm taking Miesha Tate here.
I think that's because of her titties and her fucking big-ass nose, to be honest with you. That's why she has a size advantage, but yeah, I can see what
it isn't the titties, and it isn't the nose.
Or it must be like her fucking
third guess
nose. Cool.
Is that booty?
Oh, that ass. Yes. Fucking Ryan Caraway. How the hell you score that, man, and fucking still have it? Fuck.
So this is going to be UFC Chicago win, and when is this going to take place? Fox, it was announced on Fox Sports 1. Who the fuck knows? It's going to be a summer card in Chicago, which is very, very needed. The last two UFC on Fox cards they've done in Chicago have been in like January or February. As someone who used to live there, yeah, it's like no one wants to go to Chicago. Then, man, you want to go somewhere? Yeah, it's gonna be July 25th at the United Center.
Yeah, I remember that actually, dude. Because that's around the time where CM Punk quit the WWE. No, he didn't. He was a champion, and Chael Sonnen was at that UFC card, and he wanted CM Punk to walk out with them. I remember. Okay, I remember that because I remember one of the MMA. I remember Ariel Helwani interviewing CM Punk around that time at his house because it was cold as fuck, outside. So they did it in his house. That's right. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress.
Let's get to the final topic of the night. This Saturday, it is going to be in Chicago. It's going to be on the East Coast in the Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey. Which, yes, I understand MMA should be legalized in New York City, but I don't feel very bad for people who live in New York City because the Prudential Center is like a 20-minute subway ride away. Get on the subway if you're in New York City and take your ass to Newark because you got a bunch of good fights. Me and Davey Boy are gonna break it all down. We're gonna break down the prelims first. Let's do the prelims as a big bunch, and then we'll break down the main card fight by fight.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. The prelims, you got Eddie Truck Gordon taking on Chris Dempsey, Diego Brandao versus Jimmy Hedis, and George Sullivan on Tim Means. Those are going to be the 3 fights on UFC Fight Pass, the early prelims that start at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. And then we have the Fox prelims, which all these fights are actually going to be on Big Fox. Takeya Mizugaki against Aljamain Sterling, Corey Beeston 25-8 against John Vellante, OSP versus Patrick Cummins, and Jim Miller versus Beneil Dariush. Actually, man, these I have strong thoughts on 5 of these fights, and I guess I'll get to them. Eddie Gordon against Chris Dempsey. Are you for real? Starting the Fight Pass prelims off with Eddie Gordon just murdering some bum. I for real am very serious. In 2 or 3 years, Eddie Truck Gordon is going to be a top 10 middleweight. And this is just going to be another easy hurdle for Truck. Brandao Hedis will be fun. I think Tim Dirty Bird Means gets past George Sullivan. And then we get to the Fox prelims. Aljamain Sterling takes on a guy in Takeya Mizugaki who is a gatekeeper maybe for just like belonging in the UFC. I don't know. He hasn't really had any impressive wins recently. I think Sterling lights this guy the fuck up. Corey Anderson, Corey Anderson, as much as I want to root for John Vellante being a Sarah Longo guy, I think Corey Anderson is a very, very underrated prospect, and Beaston 25-8 lights him up. OSP versus Patrick Cummins. It's funny if you listen to last week's Joe Rogan Fight Companion podcast. Brendan Schaub and Eddie Bravo bet $1,000 on this fight. Bravo's got OSP and Schaub has Pat Cummins. Pat Cummins is a very, very skillful wrestler, and I have him beating the freak athlete that is OSP. And finally, Jim Miller versus Beneil Dariush. I think Miller has a lot of skill, but Dariush is an up-and-coming guy, and because of that, I have Beneil. Davey Boy, the prelims, who you got?
Whoo boy. Okay. First off, man, like hats off to Truck Gordon coming back. First off, man, especially after getting knocked out by Josh Salmon. I didn't pick a winner in that one. I like them both. And,
I've said real quick to pop in. I have said so many times, Josh Salmon versus Eddie Gordon is going to be a fight that we look back at in like 2020, 2018. I don't fucking know. And we're going to say, damn, these two fought each other. Both of them were not thought of as elite fighters, but they're both, dude, I for real think come like 2020, Josh Salmon and Eddie Gordon are both going to be top 5 middleweights.
I can agree with I can agree with that one too myself. But for him, I do find it kind of disrespectful on that one too, in a sense. What you were saying, Jake. He's finding a guy that doesn't have a Wikipedia page. I don't know who the fuck this Chris Dempsey guy is, or this Chris Dempsey girl is. I don't know who she is.
Damn girl.
So I mean, maybe they're giving Eddie a gimme. Like, hey, dude, here you go. He's still getting paid though. He has a 6-figure contract though, so fuck it, man. He's gonna get paid for it.
I have to piss really bad, and I'll be back in a minute. You should
I'll
break it down for us.
Why you do that? Diego Brandon versus Jimmy Hedis. I would say in that fight right there, I like Diego Brandon. I've always liked Diego Brandon. Actually, I think I liked his intensity on the tough seasons or on the tough season. I think he was Miller and Bisping actually. Loved how he was like just pretty much bullying everybody on that show and stuff. A few little setbacks. Guy went to Ireland out of all places and got decimated by Conor McGregor. I mean, you could take that in as you want to. It could have been a dive. Shout out to Ramsey on that one for the work, or it could have been butterflies. But I think Diego Brandon is going to go through Jimmy Hedis. I think he's going to knock him out. George Sullivan against Tim Means. Tim Means. Isn't that the guy that got knocked out by the sauna? I think, that's the guy right there. That's the one.
Woo!
Tim Means, that's the guy that got knocked out by the sauna. Yeah. And he's fighting.
I just took an awesome piss, by the way.
What's that?
I just took an awesome piss, by the way. I'm back.
I see. Wow, dude. It's pretty fucking fast. But
my bathroom is very close to my bedroom.
I bet. But Tim Means, like him fighting against George Sullivan. Still trying to figure out who the fuck George Sullivan is. Like, who's he?
I think he was on the Jeffersons. He was like their white friend.
That guy. Oh yeah. Really, I really don't care about this fight.
He beat Mike Biggie Rhodes and Igor Araujo.
Sure, that guy. That's okay. So I guess hopefully Tim Means is wearing like a lot of protection when he cuts weight and stuff, because
it doesn't mean anything to me either.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, Aljamain against Takeda Mitsugaki. Aljamain's gonna dot this motherfucker.
Yeah, it isn't even close.
Mitsugaki is not gonna see the shit coming. Not because he's Asian, and not because of the fact that you can blindfold an Asian with dental floss. I'm just saying. Aljamain's gonna dot the fuck out of this guy, and he's not.
Aljo's minus 360 in Vegas.
Yeah.
Big favorite.
Yeah, I see the same thing too, and I see that Aljamain getting a little upset because he's still not getting the respect that he deserves. He's gonna get this fight, I believe. I think he's gonna beat the fuck out of him. Corey Anderson against
Jean Vellante.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I know who Corey Anderson is. Beastin 25-8. That's the weirdest nickname ever.
It's the shittiest nickname ever, dude. What the fuck, Beastin 25-8? Because it's one more than 24/7. Fuck off.
I would like to know the origin of why he wants to be called that. That has to be a nickname he created himself. And if he did, that's kind of messed up. You don't create your own nickname. But anyways, sorry about that. But I see Corey Anderson taking it though. I have seen his fights. He's gonna grind out. I think he's gonna grind out this Gia Vellante dude, gal, person, and Corey Anderson's gonna win this one. OSP against Patrick Cummins. I like Patrick Cummins. I don't like Brandon Schaub. Brandon Schaub's a fucking douchebag. But I will say this. Brandon Schaub, I will agree on this one. I think Patrick Cummins is going to win this one. Not because he's your boy and he's from California and stuff. You know what? I hope you and Patrick Cummins fight, to be honest with you. And I hope Patrick Cummins beats the fuck out of you. So fuck you, Brandon Schaub. You're a piece of shit.
God damn.
Sorry, dude. Like, just after the whole Metamorphs thing, him not fucking wanting to engage, and then him making excuses afterwards, and then him.
Did you ever listen to The Fighter and the Kid?
Yeah, you know what? He's probably a funny dude, but I just can't. I listen to him on the fight compilations when he's talking to Joe, Brian Callen and all those guys. Like, he's that one guy that's just a douchebag to me. I don't know. He's probably a nice guy and stuff like that. I just don't like how he talks to people. I really don't. I think he's a douchebag. So, I'm sorry. But other than that, though, I will agree 100% with you, Brandon Schaub. I love Patrick Cummins. I think Patrick Cummins is going to win this fight against OSP. And how's
I apologize. I thought I was muted up when I just hit the vape pen, hit the wax, cocksucker.
You dirty cocksuckers. But anyways, I think Patrick Cummins is going to win this fight. He's going to grind him out. He's going to grind out OSP. It's gonna probably be as worse as Patrick Cummins grinding out Kyle Kingsbury to like 30-25s basically. If anybody remembers, I think Patrick Cummins has the record for the most takedowns, or he's damn near close to it because of what he did to Kyle Kingsbury. Shout out to him. Shout out to his wife. Oh damn, I forgot her name too. It's the model from Counter Move. Girls,
I used to date a Korean chick that you would have to come on her face, and then she would have to masturbate for her to come.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, she's so beautiful, though. She's so beautiful. I just had to say it. I forgot her name, but she's the model from Counter Move. She's so beautiful. Sorry, I digress.
What's her face? Her name starts with
what I'm talking about, dude. She's so...
Natasha Wicks?
Yes.
Yeah. Score one for the Walt man.
I just put two fingers in there and searched around her asshole.
Kyle Kingsbury, you're a lucky man. Just no more fanny packs, man. That's kind of gay. But
what?
Jim Miller against Darush. Jim Miller's gonna win it.
Benil, really? The underdog Miller is plus 160 on 5 dimes.
Yeah, I like Jim Miller. Don't really know what to say about it. I don't even know what to say else about Jim Miller. He's going to win it, but, that's the only thing he's going to do because he's not going to do anything else to, get himself to the championship. He's just there. And he's he should have been the other guy to sign a contract with Bellator.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I love Jim Miller. I really do. But he has John Fitch status, man. He's just there. He wins, but you can't do nothing for Jim Miller to put him in a title contention or to entertain people and stuff. I like him, but it's just you gotta go to Bellator, buddy. Win this fight and then sign a contract with Bellator. Sorry.
Dude, that is awesome. I would love to see Jim Miller versus Will Brooks. Holy shit, that would be a fun fucking fight.
Fuck that, Jim Miller against fucking Michael Chandler. I would want to see that more.
Yeah, that would be fun too.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry, going on a little tangent and stuff like that. That's exactly what they need to do. Bellator needs to get more fighters that are like a John Fitch, a Phil Davis, and a Jim Miller. Bring those motherfuckers to Bellator. You know why? You'll bring the quote-unquote Monday Night War fucking thing, like WCW against WWE. You need more competition because the UFC is fucking just beating everybody. But I think a lot of people are getting tired of the UFC. And when they're getting tired of the UFC, you're not really helping MMA. You need to, get more competition. You need to bring competition, for the UFC. I'm sorry.
No, dude. This is why I'm pumped as shit that you called in, because your tangents make fucking sense. Miller would he along with Davis would make so much more sense in Bellator than they currently do in the UFC. And I guess that transitions us to the main card, which if you are trying to watch at home, the Fight Pass prelims: Sullivan Means, Brandao Hedis, Gordon Dempsey. That's going to be on UFC Fight Pass, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. The Fox prelims start at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's Miller Darush, St. Preux versus Cummins, Anderson versus Volante, and Mizugaki versus Sterling. And what we're about to break down, the main card on Fox, that's going to kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Zufa, kick me off them checks. Felice Herrig's taking on Paige Van Zandt, and I've heard so many times people saying, "Oh, these are two marketing powerhouses." Let's be straight up. These are just two fucking hotties fighting. This is a unique card because you have the most attractive pound-for-pound matchups ever in the men and the women's divisions. Lyoto versus Rockhold. As dudes, let's not front. Those are some pretty fucking fellas. The pound for pound most attractive matchup ever in men's MMA. And to lead off the card, you have Felice Herrig versus Paige Van Zandt. Holy shit. These both of these chicks, I don't care who you are at least 9s. These are very attractive women. I recently actually watched Paige take on Tisha Torres and Felice take on Tisha Torres, so I used Torres as my benchmark. I think Paige had a much closer fight, so for that reason, I'm going to take 12-gauge Paige over Felice Herrig, who has recently accused Mortal Kombat of ripping off her likeness.
Wait, what? I didn't hear this. Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, so Mortal Kombat 10 came out yesterday, or the day before yesterday, or some shit, and they have a character who's supposed to be like the daughter of Johnny Cage, or the little sister, or some shit, and her name is Cassie Cage, and it's a blonde fighter who chews bubblegum and takes a bunch of selfies, and Felice Herrig is saying, whoa, that's me. And
wait a minute, I seen this Cassie Cage, and there's no way that's Felice Herrig's likeness. That Cassie Cage doesn't have a man jaw, a fucking Bigfoot man jaw like Felice Herrig does. What the fuck is she talking about?
Dude, I'm not going to say they straight up ripped off Herrig, but I saw some side-by-side pictures that made me think, holy shit, she might be on to something.
Why would they steal the likeness of that Felice Herrig guy, first off? There's no way. No way. Front Row Brian, shout out on that one. I love using that shit.
Oh man, yeah, and if you're not familiar with the
go on, I'm sorry.
Felice Herrig from no, I'm done breaking it down. I'm about to DM you a link so you can look at it yourself. But do you think Herrig has a chance against? And that Buzz was the DM I sent. Do you think Herrig has a chance against 12-gauge Paige?
Okay, 12-gauge. I love the 12-gauge Paige thing because I'm thinking because you brought I love how you brought this up. Two beautiful women fighting each other and stuff like that.
Two dimes. Oh.
Yes. And you got 12-gauge Paige. That sounds so porno-esque right there. Right. I'm sorry. Just 12-gauge around, All right. I will say this. I will say this, and I probably kind of would lead in a story about this one, a little history that I had. I think Paige Van Zandt can win, but she needs to either do two things. Number one, she needs to talk to the New Jersey Athletic Commission about wearing an extra equipment, when she fights Felice Herrig. She needs to wear a shower cap when she fights Felice Herrig because her first fight in the UFC against Lisa Ellis, she won by a triangle. Well, no, armbar, actually. I'll take it back. She won by armbar. But if no one remembers how she fucking got into that position where she won that fight, Felice Herrig pulled the fuck out of Lisa Ellis's hair. Pulled the fuck out of it to win that fight. I don't understand why no one's talking about this. Felice Herrig fucking cheated. She's a fucking cheater. If she were to take steroids right now, you would consider her a cheater. She fucking cheated on tape. She grabbed her fucking hair. Oh, man, dude, I had a gift for that one right there. I fucking blasted that on Twitter. And who do I get a fucking message from? You want to know who? I'll tell you who. Brian fucking Butler. Mr. Cuckold. Yes, Mr. Cuckold himself. Like, oh well, fucking Lisa pulled Felice's hair too. Motherfucker, like she didn't pull the hair to get the fucking win, dick. And like I'm trying.
You don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to explain to this guy, like trying to break this down. Like, listen, dude, like, yeah, Lisa pulled the hair. I got it. But did Lisa pull the hair to get the win? No. But it's like it's still like Felice would have still won the fight. You don't fucking know. Like I was talking to a wall. This guy has this fucking platonic relationship with Felice Herrig, this Felice Herrig guy. I was like, you know what, man? All right, you know what? Agree to disagree. Blah blah blah. You know what? Whatever, dude. I think we just became best friends type of argument type of thing. So I digress from that one. I'm fucking telling people about this. Like, dude, like, Felice Herrig is a fucking cheater. Like, three things. Either fucking cut Felice Herrig's fingers off, Paige Van Zandt needs to fucking shave her head, or wear a shower cap. Because, like, that's the only way I think Paige Van Zandt's going to win this fight is if those three things happen. But I like Paige Van Zandt. I think she's going to win.
I agree. I have much less hate in my heart toward Felice, but you and Front Row Brian have legit gripes. Let's move to.
I don't like Brian Butler. I don't like his whole sucker punch fucking entertainment thing. I don't like it how people are trying to defend themselves like legitimately. Like if Felice Herrig was sucking on a dick and someone had a picture of it, he would basically be like, that never happened. Like that's Photoshop. Like motherfucker, like let Felice defend herself. Like you don't need to defend somebody. I got it. You're trying to be like a Dana White or a Malky Kawa and try to defend your fucking people, but you sound like a douchebag when they get caught in the act. Shut the fuck up. Let them fucking talk. Let them fucking tweet how they feel. Shit.
We got hot takes coming on from Davey Boy. Let's move on to featherweight. We got Cub Swanson taking on Max Holloway, which I like this fight because Max is definitely an up and coming guy. I mean, he like legit gave Conor McGregor his toughest fight in the UFC, and since that fight, he's gone 5-0, beating Will Chope, Andre Feely, Clay Collard, Akira Kurashani, Cole Miller. Fortunately, all five of those guys are kind of bums. Feely's probably the best on that list, which is funny because he's fought 3 people since then. Miller, I guess, is up there, but his stock has been rapidly falling off. I don't see how Cub Swanson loses this fight. Do you see any way Cub loses, Davey?
After the way they lost to Frankie Edgar? Fuck no. I think Cub's going to go in there and make an example out of Max Holloway. And I actually like Max Holloway. And here's another thing, too, going on a little rant. Max Holloway was on MMA Junkie. There was an article on Max Holloway on MMA Junkie. And the headline was, I want another chance to fight Conor McGregor, which I'm probably not. It's probably more to the title than that, but that's one thing I remembered. But it was the fucking picture that they had of Max Holloway in that headline. It basically had Max Holloway fighting Conor McGregor, but being mushed. Like they had a picture of him, of Conor McGregor, like pushing Max Holloway's face, and he looks so pathetic. And I'm like, damn, dude, like MMA Junkie, like you couldn't like made him look a little bit better. Like you just made him look like a fool, like a little boy. And you have the headlines of like, oh, like I think if I had a chance to fight Conor McGregor, I would win it. So like I don't know, but anyways, I like Max Holloway. He's from the islands too. He's from Hawaii.
But like that was probably on purpose. Like I mean, it's sad, but it's straight WWE tactics. It's just fucking trying to put Conor over as many times as you can, no matter how shameful it'll be.
Yeah, but all right, no, I understand that. Like that would be something like I would do. A fan, you're talking about, a premier like, MMA news site, and for them to like have a picture of Max Holloway looking pathetic and having headlines about him, a story about him, and make him look like that, it's kind of fucked up. I'm sorry, for a professional professional news anchor, or however you want to call it, to do something like that. Like, I'm not saying that he did it intentionally, but like, before you post it, at least look at it, and be like, should we put this picture on there? They shouldn't have put it.
I probably could do a whole show on this topic, but just like you see CNN and Fox News bowing down to the U.S. government because that's how they're going to make money. I mean, you look at all the sites who get credentialed by the UFC. They all may as well be mouthpieces, man. You get a site talking anything that's on the other side of what the UFC thinks, they'll just pull the credential. I mean, it's sad how biased the quote-unquote mainstream MMA media is, and the bias comes from them being scared as shit that if they say anything that's against the, UFC, standpoint. This guy, I'm going to look his name up. I'm sad I forgot it, but he asked about fight or pay at UFC, the Aldo versus Conor presser in Toronto, and literally got kicked out.
Oh yeah.
Sorry?
Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I remember you talking about that. But while you're trying to find that guy's name, like you bring up like another thing about the UFC and how bully they're trying to be. First off, big shout out to I think Adam Martin and James Lynch? I can't remember. But Party Shots MMA. Okay.
Yeah.
They had their 100th episode. Like one of the people that they had on their show to interview was Z Prophet MMA. If anyone don't know who Z Prophet is, he's
Zombie
the guy
Prophet.
that makes all the GIFs and stuff. Like just listen to it. But basically, just to give you a synopsis of what happened, he was making GIFs, for the UFC fighters. They tracked this guy down. This guy actually was cold. Like when it came to trying to find him, they tracked this guy down. I was like, dude, if you keep making these GIFs, we're suing you for $10 million. As a matter of fact, no, they found his dad, and they thought his dad was Z Prophet. The lengths that these guys go, the UFC goes to make sure, they don't lose any money. Fuck, man, calm down. You don't have to be a fucking bully.
The guy's name is Brian D'Souza, and he wrote for CagePotato.com. And he posts, I was representing Bloody Elbow. I emailed the UFC rep for information about the press conference on Tuesday, March the 24th. The UFC rep emailed me to confirm she'd place me on the media list on Thursday at 7:41 p.m. And it goes on where he specifically says, yes, I was a member of the media. And just because he asked a question about fighter pay, which the UFC does not like,
anymore.
Dana White himself tweets he wasn't a journalist. And I'm quoting this at Beat and Nick. Quote, he wasn't a journalist. He was a guy who snuck in. He got by my PR people in Canada. Quote, even though he lied, snuck in, and was there to say stupid shit and get attention, we still let him stay. Why are you gonna lie about this, dude? It is sad, and it is the same. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it, which I've held back. I have seen the higher ups of the UFC: Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, Matt fucking Hughes, give out literal floor tickets to girls that they're just trying to court. And how do you think it feels as a hardcore MMA fan, which I've had this talk with friends I've gone to the UFCs with, Allen, Yao, Hunter, Ramses, Ross. It's like, how does it make you feel as a hardcore MMA fan who spends money to travel here, buy tickets and all that, and when you look down in the front row, you just see a bunch of chicks that Dana / Lorenzo / Matt Hughes are trying to fuck? Really? The top of the totem pole at the UFC is fucked. And you'll probably never see us get a media pass. And Dana White, don't worry, has already blocked me. It is
No.
Yeah. It's funny. He blocked me during UFC Japan, which is really funny. I made a joke, like Dana said something about John Morgan, and I just made like a passing joke about John Morgan to Dana White. Like, man, it's really shocking how a guy can go like 80 cards and never get banned from the UFC, and I just get blocked. I didn't even say anything malicious. I was just like, yeah, it's crazy you never banned him, and I just get fucking blocked. I don't know. Dana Lorenzo and Matt Hughes especially. God, Matt Hughes is a cocksucker.
I've heard that a lot from a lot of people, actually.
Yeah, he's a real fucking bastard. But, whether or not the MMA podcast ever gets a media credential to the UFC, we're going to keep cranking these episodes out, cocksuckers.
Fuck, dude. Yeah. I'm surprised Dana White
Cocksuckers.
blocked you, dude. Like, wow. Like, I'm shocked, actually. Like, I'm not blocked by Dana White, but I'm blocked from a lot of other people. Brian Stan blocked me. Aaron Helwani blocked me.
I'm blocked. I think I'm still. I don't think I've been blocked by Stan or Magana, but I've certainly been blocked by John Jones, who Jones came after me and then blocked me, saying like, "Oh, can I be on your show?" And I'm like, okay, if you're serious, follow me and I'll send you a DM. He's like, I'm totally not. And then he blocks me like, okay. All right, cool. And Tito has had me blocked, I think, since before episode 1. That guy's just a giant cocksucker.
Yeah, Shamrock's blocked me, and then Gariani Celeste actually blocked me too.
Ooh.
I think what did I say?
What did you say to Ariani?
I said she's the hottest woman. No, what did I say? I tweeted out, Ariana Celeste is the hottest woman that walks counterclockwise. That's the only woman that's hot enough to walk. I think I said something like that. Yeah,
that isn't even an insult.
I was like, that is the hottest woman that knows how to walk counterclockwise. Because when she holds that, no, what is the other thing I said? I said, I bet if you break her left foot, she can never walk, around the octagon again or something like that. Yeah. I was like, I mean, it's the truth though. Like that's her career right there. If you break that left ankle, her career's fucked because she can't walk counterclockwise anymore. Like, and I got blocked by her.
So if she breaks an ankle, like a thoroughbred racing horse, do you keep her around? Do you put her down? I mean, she is basically a thoroughbred at this point.
Oh, yeah, thoroughbred. Yeah, about those Octagon girls, man.
Thoroughbreds.
They need to change them out. Sorry.
I saw.
Yeah, it's We'll move on. We talked Swanson
we lost
versus
so much track right there.
Max Holiday. Yo, he slid the fuck out. But it isn't like we gotta gain too much traction because Jacare versus Chris Camozzi. Do we even have that much to say here? I mean, Jacare versus Yoel. I'm still taking Jacare, but this is a joke of a fight, man. There's no way Chris Camozzi wins. If Chris Camozzi wins, I am going to sing the entirety of the I'm a Little Teacup song next week. I'm going to sing it from start to end in the highest octave I fucking can. I'm a little teacup short and stout. I'm going to sing the entire fucking thing.
Like, now I'm hoping Camozzi wins this now. Like,
there is no chance he beats Jacare. Zero chance. Jacare not only is maybe the best grappler in the history of mixed martial arts, recently he has shown that he's a motherfucker standing up too.
Okay. Well, I mean, I hear you on that one. Did you think Matt Serra was going to beat GSP?
Yes.
Bullshit. Did you think that TJ Dillashaw was going to beat Renan Barão?
I honestly wasn't an MMA fan when GSP first fought Sarah. Dillashaw Barão. I honestly latched on around like UFC 101. That was the first live UFC I ever watched. But Dillashaw Barão, Florian Penn, and Anderson Griffin. Yeah, that was a dope card to start watching that. But Dillashaw Barão. I think I had a long speech before the fight. It was funny. Ross was saying how Dillashaw, he has great footwork, and you look at how much he's improved from fight to fight, and I really think he's gonna take the title. And I'm like, Ross, you dumb motherfucker. There's no way Dillashaw wins, and then Barão is the pound for pound king. So fuck my opinion. Shit, because I said there was no way Dillashaw would win.
You just said this on air. You might as well just, sing the Canadian national anthem, but you want to go this far. Like, now I'm
Canada, oh, Canada, I stand on... I don't know what the... I stand on guard.
Yeah, you just fucked that one up, dude.
I stand on guard for thee. Glorious and free, go Canada, I stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. All right, I had to make it up to our friends from the Great North, Mystery Meds, Kevin Black, even though he isn't in Canada, he's in the UK or some shit. Bill the Butcher, not Bob the Butcher. I fucked it up last episode.
Yep. But, all right, so co-main event. Jacare against Chris Camozzi. This is
going
so fucking...
way off track again.
This is so disappointing. Like, this is one of the things I hate about this card right here. How long have we been waiting for Jacare to fucking fight? Like, how long? Like, we've been waiting for Jacare to fight for a long ass time. He was supposed to fight. Yoel Romero and Jacare were supposed to fight for so long. They both get injured. Jacare got injured first. They scrapped the fight. Supposed to fight again. Romero gets injured. They couldn't find anybody else in the middleweight division for Jacare to fight.
We've been waiting 7 months.
What's that?
We've been waiting 7 months since Jacare's last fight, and he hasn't been injured
because he fought Mousasi, and he fought Mousasi, and I like Chris Camozzi, but you couldn't have picked anybody else besides Chris Camozzi. You couldn't you couldn't just looked around a little bit further. I mean, I know Bisping would have probably taken that fight. Said CB Dalloway, fuck this guy. Like, I'm fighting Jacare. I'm pretty sure he would have taken that fight. I'm pretty sure. And and then also go on Twitter. I think Bisping's pissed off at Jacare's manager, saying he was ducking him on that fight because they were actually asking for Bisping, and apparently Bisping said he didn't want to fight Jacare. So kind of funny, but could have called on Bisping. Shit, fucking get Tim Kennedy out of retirement to fight fucking Jacare. I'm just saying. But Chris Camozzi, he's going to do a lot better than the last time he fought Jacare. I can guarantee you that. Does that mean he's going to win?
Jacare's manager said I turned down a fight with Jacare. That's a lie. The UFC never even got in touch. I'm fighting CB Dalloway April 25th. When I beat him, I'll happily beat you, Jacare. And your manager, I've got something to say to him as well. Liar.
I love it. God, you know what? Like, I hated Michael Bisping for so long, but you can't help but love him now. Like, he won me over.
I love how sped up his voice was just so we can fit it all in the 15-second Instagram video. I got 1 second. I got one message for you. Liar. And
liar. He won me over. I like Bisping now. That guy fucking won me over. He's so fucking funny.
He's the bad news Barrett of MMA.
Yeah, like I love it. I love his argument with Luke Rockhold when they're outside, and Rockhold's like, "You never knocked out anybody." It's like, "Well, who have you knocked out? Who have you knocked out before?" Love it. But anyways, Chris Camozzi, he's gonna do a lot better. Does that mean he's gonna win? No, but you know what? Like, Jacare needs to fight. I guess he wants some money, so this is a tune-up fight for him on this one, and the sad thing about it is, if Rockhold beats Machida, and I know it's going to the main event a little bit, but let's just say Rockhold does beat Machida, I think Rockhold's going to he's going to jump over Jacare, because Jacare is ranked number 2, and I think Rockhold's ranked number 4, and I think Rockhold, if he beats Machida, Rockhold's going to jump over Jacare for that title fight against Weidman. It sucks, but you know what? That's what you get, Jacare.
Jacare is currently number 1. Lyoto's number.
Oh yeah.
Lyoto's number 2. Vitor's number 3. Luke Rockhold's number 4, and Anderson Silva number 5. What I fucking love is when Jacare beat Yushin Okami at UFC Fight Night Teixeira vs. Bader back September 2013. Dana White himself said, "Okay, Jacare's next in line for a title shot," and then he gives Lyoto a title shot, and now he gives Vitor a title shot, and Jacare is just sitting there at number 1 like, what?
What's my title shot? Yep. Yeah. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think Jacare he's going to get jumped over again, and Rockhold's going to – if Rockhold wins in – I like that matchup. I'm sorry, this leads to the main event. I like the matchup between Machida and Rockhold. I think their stand-up game is pretty identical in a sense. I like this matchup, and I think Rockhold can etch this one out. I think he has longer reach.
Talk about it, yeah. Your thoughts? You think Luke wins it all?
I think Luke's gonna win it. I don't know, like. I think he wins it because I want to see it happen. Actually, I want to see what Luke Rockhold can actually do in this fight against Leo Machida. I think this one. I think Luke Rockhold can test himself against Machida and win this fight. Their stand-ups are identical, and I think that it can happen. But I digress too a little bit because that's the same thing I said about Mousasi against Machida, and Mousasi looked silly against Machida. So, but you know what? I think Rockhold's going to win this one.
Let's listen to Lyoto Machida's training partner, Brendan Schaub, talking about him training for Luke Rockhold.
Are you serious?
Machida yesterday sparred 5 rounds like it was nothing. Not shit. He could go 10.
Really?
That fight's in 2 weeks, too, man.
Damn. How's he look?
Best I've ever seen him.
Do
you want to talk about a professional? What?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. There's no one more professional than him.
He's awesome.
They need a documentary on Lyoto just called The Professional. That motherfucker's he's a legit martial artist 365 days a year.
And of course, I can't not play the video of our boy Lyoto Machida endorsing the MMA podcast.
Lyoto Machida, the MMA podcast.
Once again. That's right. I cornered Lyoto Machida. And this is the joke, people. I saw RFA 11 where his brother Chenzo fought, and Chenzo, oh my god, it was one of the most devastating knockouts I've ever seen. He literally broke a guy's skull in half. Yeah. And I've done media for events, which when I've done media, I've respected everything, and I've, stuck to the rules. This RFA event, they didn't credential me, so I bought floor seats. And when the event was over, there was this curtain right behind me, and I'm like, I'm just going to walk back and see what's back here. And I'm standing around, and all of a sudden, Lyoto Machida is standing there waiting on his crew and his brother, and he's bitching. He's like, "I am hungry. I I would like to leave soon. I would like to eat. And he's like waiting on his teammates and stuff. I'm like, Lyoto, I'm a huge fan. Oh my God. And he's like, thank you. And I'm like, hey, do you think I could get like a video of you saying, I'm Lyoto Machida and you're listening to the MMA Podcast? And he's like, the MMA Podcast? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And what I got was... So Lyoto Machida is officially a the MMA Podcast athlete. He's sponsored by us. He's one of our favorite guys. Yeah, this is I've met a lot of fighters in Vegas, you know, at like the UFC Fan Expo and just like standing around casinos, but this is the only time I've asked someone to like be like, hey, could you say your name in the MMA Podcast? And Lyoto is such a professional. And for that reason alone, I have Lyoto fucking Machida winning the fight via first round KO. Luke Rockhold, you can go fuck your mother. There's no way you get past the second best middleweight in the world. Chris Weidman is undisputed the best. Fuck Vitor, fuck Anderson, fuck Luke Rockhold, fuck Jacare. Lyoto Machida is the man.
I don't know, man. I think Luke Rockhold is going to decimate him and eat all of his tigers.
Oh, man. Eat all his tigers. Eat all of his piss. Shit, any more topics before we get the fuck out of here?
Is there really anything else to talk about, man? I mean, whew. Is there anything breaking news and stuff? Oh, did you ever talk about Nate Diaz and Matt Brown not fighting?
Yeah. I did touch on that, but what are your thoughts on the fight not going down?
Dude,
I said it's probably smart because that fight does nothing for either guy. If Matt Brown wins, it's like, oh great, I beat a lightweight that does nothing toward my push to the 170 title. And as Nate Diaz, it's like, yeah, you either lose and your stock gets super dropped off, or you win and you're still never going to be a welterweight champ.
Dude, it wasn't even that. Like, I had a funny feeling, like, when they announced that fight, like, I knew Nate Diaz was going to say something. I didn't think it was going to be this. But, like, when they announced that fight, I went straight on Diaz's page. Nah, fuck that. I'm fighting Anthony Pettis. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, shit. Dude, like, he didn't ask for this fight. Okay. I was like, yes. Like a Nate Diaz fucking rant. Yes. And then he went on the MMA Hour. He's like, nah, I never agreed to that fight, man.
Shout out to Shoes. Shout out to Time. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Instagram.
Shout out to Rob Williams. Johnny sucks, motherfucker. What?
Shout out to Tommy fucking Toehold. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Fuck, man. But, I mean, yeah, I guess that one right there. Fuck, dude, send Nate Diaz to fucking Bellator. You know, here's another thing. I actually tweeted this out, you know. Like, you know, we got Rampage and we got Bamboozle for it. Scott Coker got Phil Davis. You know, man, like, that should have been like a package deal right there. We give you Phil Davis, and we'll also give you Nate Diaz, but just give us Rampage. And Jim Miller. Right. Just give us Rampage, you know. Just do a little deal, man. Fuck it. What's that?
Just let that contract go, which Chael Sonnen said perfectly on his show. Like, he knew the fight wouldn't go down because Bellator wasn't going to let it go. Which, man, stop doing this bullshit Bjorn Rebney type stuff. Scott Coker, just follow Elsoft, Frozen. Let it go.
Yeah. Hey, oh, that's another thing, too. You're welcome.
Hey, oh.
Did you do it?
Doug Crosby, he tore into that piece of shit, Doug. Oh, God, I was so happy to hear that.
Okay, I was listening to it a little bit. I missed it, though. Like, what happened? Can you break it down for me?
I won't give much of it away. All I'm going to give up, it's You're Welcome, episode 27, the most recent one. Fast forward about 26 minutes in to hear one of the best fighters of all time tear apart one of the shittiest judges of all time. It's amazing.
Really? I gotta listen to this.
Doug Crosby is a piece of shit. But let us wrap it up. Follow us, of course, themmapodcast.com, on Twitter at the MMA Podcast. Follow our fallen but soon to get back up comrades at the Aunt Jimmy Show. Follow Ramses. Follow Alan at Westland Eagle AH. Hiro Shinwoo, C. Lowenstein, Yav the Truth, Ross Finkelstein, E before the L. Who do you got? Of course, Mystery Deja, who does the song you're hearing in the background, and the song we're gonna exit with called Badass. He's Mystery Deja, Mystery DEJA. Kevin Black, Don Enrique, MMA Enthusiast, our boy Mad Samurai, Bill the Butcher, not Bob the Butcher. Who do you got to shout out, buddy?
Just myself. That is Davey Boy, DAVEI_BOI. I am the future of the world. If you want to follow the future, just don't blink and don't be offended.
Listen to the MMA Podcast. Listen to the word on the street. Congratulations, Coach Jamie Huey, with your little baby boy. You son of a bitch, you're a father. We're super pumped for you. Mike Finch, who else? Just everybody who has given us any support. We appreciate the shit out of you, and we will be back next week. Follow us on Twitter at the MMA Podcast. And until next week, we gone.
Let's kill the beat. Kill the beat.
Let's go! Name tag in my stacks, spiritual guidance. And my pride rises with a higher alliance. Flow sound till I drown. Stay silent, listen to this beautiful noise. Neil Diamond, you wish you knew what it felt like. Trust your struggle, don't do what someone else likes. I'm on my own, do it myself type. The best advice I could get is never think twice. Daydreaming about going hard this weekend. Got beef, then you're sleeping in the deep end. You're not even that decent. They gassed you up, get pumped, start squeezing. Something up my sleeve, yeah, I'm tatted up. I got all the haters mad at us, single mad tatted up. I got a chick and she's bad as fuck, spitting out her mouth like Daffy Duck. Something up my sleeve, yeah, I'm tatted up. I got all the haters mad at us, single mad tatted up. I got a chick and she's bad as fuck, spitting out her mouth like Daffy Duck.